Hey, John with Universal Aquatics. So, putting in a new pond today in Lawrenceville, Georgia, right down the road from my house. You can't ask for any better spot than that. We've got a pond just going in. Originally, we decided this thing was gonna be a pondless back here, but then we decided, okay, it's gonna be an 11 by 16 pond with a 6-foot long stream and waterfall section. Now we get on the job site, we put out the garden hose and we said, you know, I think it needs to be a little bit bigger. So now behind me back here, over there, we've spec'd out a spot that's about 14 to 15 feet wide by 17 feet wide with a 16-foot long waterfall and stream section. It's all gonna be lit up at night. It's gonna be about 3 feet deep. We're gonna put some koi in here. So we got the adequate filtration, pump size, spec'd out, ready to go. It should be nice, but let me flip this thing around. All right, so we got a little tree stump right there. We're taking that out, starting with a waterfall filter there, a little Aquascape biofalls, going around, dropping down into that little spot. It doesn't seem like 16 feet, but it is. Big spot. I think we may eventually end up coming over here, putting a little stepping stone off of this little section so people can get down and walk across and maybe have a little spot where we can jump across the waterfall. It depends on whatever we want to do. Got some rocks, big sitting boulder over there. So that one is probably, I don't know, 1,200 pounds, big rock. So this is what we've got. It's gonna be about 15 by 17. We've got to build this area up. So first little hiccup of the morning of the project. The track came off the excavator, so what can you do? What can you do? So I think it's a good time to take a water break. A lot of times, often when we're building projects, we'll look in the woods for other materials, natural elements that we can use to incorporate into the water feature itself. And I found that guy. So I don't know where it's gonna go just yet, but we're definitely gonna put it over there in the water feature. And whenever you lift things up, you need to look for animals, critters underneath it. Like initially, but you're good. Snakes is what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
This is calling my name. I don't know if we can use it. Out here in the woods. Oh man, I hope I can get that out of the ground. It's moving.
It's moving. I think I got a good spot right here.
Ha ha ha!
And the bow.
It's my victory day. Good morning, so day 3 of the project that we've been working on. I haven't taken any video in 3 days. It's July in Atlanta. It's hot, it's sticky. We're tired working long nights, long days. We just want to drop after we get done, you know? This is the progress that we got so far. So let me give you a tour. So here we are. So skimmer here, overflow pipe going that way. You guys just had some trees cut down, so we got that in there to soften it up, but we're gonna be doing some landscaping in here as well. So we got a little fish case. Guys can swim in and out of the top and the corner, probably 5 or 6 spots. Got this set up. Several lights. I think we've got like 6 lights going in here. So we ended up finding some pieces in the woods. So that's the guy that we pulled out. It took us like a couple hours to dig that thing out. But we found some pieces here. So we're gonna incorporate some wood, so soften up some of the edges. And then we have some other pieces that we found as well. But it's, I don't know, maybe 16 feet or so. Low profile stone, so nothing is really that high above the grade. So we're gonna be able to incorporate some plants in here and get it looking good. All right, so we're at the flushing and filling stage, so we're rinsing everything out. But the garden hose in here is filling up, pumping out the mucky muck. And this is what ponds look like whenever we first get finished with them. So we don't want to have too many rocks in here. So we have open areas where plants can come in there. Their aquatic plants grow out or terrestrial plants grow in. So this is what it looks like. Mulch can come in here at a later time, but there are holes, there are gaps. So this is going to be covered up with either a plant or mulch, but there's too many rocks, so we don't want to put a bunch of rocks everywhere. So this is the sides and the borders of what it looks like whenever we just finish ponds. We incorporated some other wood, but look at the sides. So we can put some aquatic plants in here, aquatic plants, but whenever we get finished with ponds, that's what we do. So it's just a rough grading. So we got to come in here with some other plants to make that go away. But that's essentially what we have. All right, so we just got this project finished up. And I think it turned out amazing. Looks really good. So we just turned this thing on, but let me flip it around and show you what we got, okay? All right, here's the tour. Aquascape dosing system, skimmer box, aerator. It's about 3 feet deep, so that's gonna be in this deepest spot-ish area over there. The log worked out well with the plants. We're able to get some pretty big guys in here, so we just planted them, so, you know, they're gonna be drooping over a bit, especially because it's so hot. Got this little spot that kind of beached out a little bit, walking around. But it turned out really good. Waterfall facing the deck on this side, but it comes up, comes around, and this is what it looks like whenever you first finish a pond. Like I said, there are spots that are open, and we left areas where terrestrial plants we planted out and grow in. So it's not just rock. But we put a series of drops in here. We got this guy splitting right there, coming around, but we got a little piece of wood where it kind of comes over the wood in spots and comes over the log as well. Little mystery falls right there. We found the little cedar trunk from in the woods way back there. So we're able to dig that guy out and bring that over. So we found this wood in the back in the woods. Got the fire, stuck it in there right at the water level. So we're actually able to get that guy a little water. So when this thing clears up, we're gonna get some fish in here, some koi, maybe a few goldfish. They'll be swimming around, happy as a clam. Okay, what you doing?
Adding my goldfish.
Adding goldfish. So we just put this thing in here, what, like today?
Yeah, a couple days ago you finished.
Yeah, so you've got some goldfish. Let's see if we can take a look.
I think we had 2 chubunkins and 3 goldfish.
So we're putting them in here to get the bacteria levels up for the other koi and things getting cycled out. So okay, whenever you're ready.
All right.
A little slippery.
Yeah, a little slippery. Got a little slime on.
So you're trying not to put the other pond water in here, and I know it's kind of new, so we don't really have a net or anything yet.
Yeah. All right, all 5 are in.
So I bet they're gonna find each other and they're gonna school together for a while. And then they're gonna hang out underneath the flow in the waterfall. All right, so we just finished up this pond and waterfall system in Lawrenceville, Georgia, and I wanted to show you guys a few pointers and key things to look out for as your ecosystem gets established. Let me show you. All right, so here is the biofalls, the waterfall filter. So we've got some bio balls in there in a little bag. We got 2 filter pads. We got a rock sitting on top of that. Sometimes fish poop, debris, waste can clog up the filter and those things can kind of float up. So we put a rock on top of it. Now, as you can see, this is a little bubbly, a little frothy. That is from the underlayment padding that we put underneath the larger stones. And you can see the bubbles go all the way down. So over time, this is going to disappear. It's going to go away. Just with water changes, fresh water that goes in. One thing you're gonna notice is that these rocks are not going to stay the same color underneath. They're gonna get algae on it, and you want algae because without algae, you don't have a healthy ecosystem. You've got a swimming pool. You don't want a sterile environment. So all these rocks are gonna get green. And that's exciting whenever that happens because that means that your ecosystem is starting to get established. So these guys over here with the filter pads, there are 2 filter mats and the bio balls. So it depends on your bio load in here, the amount of fish that you have, koi fish, goldfish, etc. But you may not have to clean this thing out too often, okay? Lights, your lights, sometimes you'll have to get your finger and just kind of rub it on the lens and get a little bit of algae on it. A lot of these plants are going to get so healthy and so big that they may dam up the waterfall section and stream section a little bit. You need to make sure that you have a continuous pathway for water to go down and around because you could have a leak if it gets up too high. So we build these things really low profile. So we keep it to where a lot of times you don't know where the land begins and the water starts, you know? So we keep it to where the liner is really low. So if the plants come in here and jam it up, but potentially you could have some leaks on the sides. We use Tennessee fieldstone. It's wet, maybe a couple of inches above the actual water level. So that doesn't mean you have a leak. What that means is that this is sandstone. Tennessee fieldstone is sandstone. It absorbs water. That's why it has a lot of moss and lichens and things on it for the most part. That water is wicking up, and so that's why it looks like the water level used to be up there, but it didn't. Pond skimmer. So this is an easy, convenient leaf basket. So here's what you do. To clean out your filter and check your pump, shut the door. Now the water level is gonna go down. You're gonna start hearing a slurpy sound. That means, hey, I'm starving, I need some water. There it is. Right now, if you just wanna get the debris out, you can stick your hand in there, or you can pull this up, take this out. Now you got access to everything down here, your filter pad. So I'm just gonna grab a few things out. But for the most part, your filter pad comes up like this. Now, get it, leave it on a rock, put it down on that side. This hole is on the side of your pump, it lines up. Sometimes it's common that this breaks as well. Stick that down. Another project in the books. We greatly appreciate you guys watching this video. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. We will greatly, greatly appreciate it. We'll be putting out a lot more of these videos in the future. If you're in need of a certified pond contractor on your project that you'll be working on in the metro Atlanta, Georgia area, we'd be thrilled to work alongside you guys to help make your pond dreams a reality. We'll see you on the next one.